Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zeki Brazinji. It's a great honor to be addressing all of you, my fellow brothers and sisters in faith and solidarity across the country tonight. 4 years ago, I had the pleasure of speaking at the ISNA convention in my official role as a White House liaison to Muslim Americans under President Obama. What a different world we were living in back then. Things were far from perfect, but there was at least an administration that was willing to open its doors, to come to the table and to discuss policies and issues that were directly affecting our communities. ISNA played a big role in keeping those lines of communication open. Previous conventions featured speeches from Secretary Jay Johnson, from my former boss, Senior Advisor Valerie Jarrett, as well as multiple messages from President Obama himself. 4 years later, our communities are dealing with a new reality altogether. President Trump's destructive words from when he was a candidate have been transformed into devastating actions against so many different communities at once. From his first days in the White House, when he enacted the Muslim ban and targeted our Latino brothers and sisters, to this current health crisis that has been exacerbated over his inaction, and the surge in white supremacist violence rooted in xenophobia, Islamophobia, anti-Black racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and so many other manifestations of hate that all come from the exact same place. The stakes this year couldn't be any higher. We are in a battle for the very soul of this country. A soul that was never truly pure to begin with, but right now is in danger of being extinguished altogether. And so I commend all of you who have fought hard together for a brighter future, even in the midst of chaos, fear, and darkness. I commend ISNA in particular for the steps it has taken over the past couple years. Last August, Senator Bernie Sanders made history when he addressed the ISNA audience in Houston as a presidential candidate, where he was also joined by former Secretary Julian Castro. Tonight, ISNA makes history once again, when, in just a few moments, Vice President Joe Biden will become the first presidential nominee to address the ISNA convention. Vice President Biden has made tremendous strides during this campaign to meaningfully and substantively engage with our communities. His campaign has hosted dozens of conversations across the country with Muslim leaders. He made history by becoming the first presidential nominee to release a specific plan addressing Muslim communities. He has condemned China for its wholesale decimation of our Uyghur brothers and sisters. And he has called on India to recognize and restore the democratic rights of the people of Kashmir. But even so, there's still much more work to be done. No candidate, no politician should ever take our votes for granted. Because this election is not just about returning to the world as it was before President Trump took the White House. It's about building towards an America that has never yet existed. One where all of our communities are treated with the same dignity, where all our families are able to live and thrive without fearing that the systems and the institutions that are supposed to be protecting and uplifting us are instead holding us down and destroying our lives. As you'll hear in a minute, Joe Biden believes in building towards that future, but it's not going to magically happen the day after we vote Donald Trump out. It's going to happen when all of us roll up our sleeves and together commit ourselves towards that path. We will hold a Biden administration accountable, but we must also realize that the responsibility lies within each of us. That means we don't just show up for the photo ops, to the Eid parties, and to the iftars. It means we show up with conviction and substance to every policy conversation, no matter how dry, no matter how unglamorous, and that we do it for all issues that affect the most vulnerable among us, whether it's across the world or right here in our own backyards. It means embracing the fact that Muslims in this country are a community of communities, as diverse as the nation itself. That also means recognizing that Black Muslims make up the plurality of Muslims in this country. And it's about time our leadership as well as our policy priorities reflect that. This November, I know that our communities will join together like never before to make sure that the forces of hate, darkness, and fear are outshined by the many flickering lights of love and hope. But it's up to us, all of us, to keep those lights burning bright for the weeks, months, and years afterwards. Finally, on a personal note, I want to extend my appreciation to ISNA President Dr. Syed Mohammed Saeed as he concludes his decades of service to this organization and to the entire Muslim American community. Abbajan, we love you, we're proud of you, we are inspired by you, and we are so happy to have you all to ourselves now. And now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Joe Biden.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak directly to the Islamic Society of North America Annual Conference. I want to thank you for the invitation and thank you for ISNA's ongoing dedication to supporting and engaging Muslim Americans and to strengthen communities all across this country because Muslim American voices matter. But we all know that your voices haven't always gotten the recognition or the representation you deserve. And that's your right as citizens. We also know that Muslim Americans have been under constant attack by President Trump and his administration. Muslim communities were the first to feel Donald Trump's assault on black and brown communities in this country with a vile Muslim ban. First. And we've seen what comes from policies and rhetoric that fan the flames of hate in our country, a rise in Islamophobia, many incidences, kids being bullied in school, hate crimes on the march. We're facing multiple crises that under Donald Trump are multiplying. COVID, economic devastation, unwarranted police violence, emboldened white nationalists, long overdue national reckoning about the way our country has treated black and brown and Native Americans. I know Muslim Americans feel it too, especially black Muslims, and a declining faith in the bright American future. The common thread, an incumbent president who makes things worse, not better. Our country needs a leader who's up to the job, who won't foment hate and violence in this country. We need leaders who will listen to everyone. Respect the rich diversity of this nation and to work to unite us. There's not a single thing, not a single one of these issues where Muslim Americans don't have a critical stake in our ability to deliver solutions and real results. And there's not one of those issues where Muslim Americans aren't essential to our success. If Senator Harris and I have the honor of being elected your next president or vice president, know that we'll work in partnership with you to make sure your voices and your ideas are included in everything. This administration is going to look like America, including having Muslim Americans serving at every level as we work to rebuild our nation, not just back to where it was before Donald Trump took office, but to build back better. We'll start by ending the Muslim ban on day one of my administration. My word is a Biden. I'll be president, I'll be a president, and I'll say it again, I'll be a president who will stand with you, not seek to scapegoat your communities. This is the most consequential election in our lifetime. So I hope that all of you will get engaged. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make a plan how you're going to vote, because together we can work to bring our nation closer to our founding ideals. A nation where all women and men are not only created equal, but they're treated equally. Thank you so very much, and may peace be upon you.